Hi, I'm Jory, and welcome to my channel. In this video, I am channeling messages from Divine, Source, and the higher realms. In this video, I am speaking on spiritual insight and downloads I have been receiving for the Twin Flame Collective. These are messages I have been receiving throughout the day today, and also that I have intuitively channeled and have written tonight. The messages coming up in this video, I'm sensing are messages for a rare same-sex lesbian twin flame connection. So not everyone is going to resonate with all of the messages that are coming up in this video. There is one soul that will resonate with these messages. And those experiencing a twin flame connection and soul connection with your twin flame and have awakened spiritually as a twin flame are likely to resonate with some of the messages in this reading. Because not every twin flame experience is exactly the same. What one twin flame couple goes through on their twin flame journey is entirely different from what another couple goes through on their twin flame journey. Because in fact, each and every twin flame connection is different. And this has to do with the nature of the source, of divine. The nature of the source is extremely complex and diverse. The source is extremely multi-dimensional. And so how the source, how divine manifests is going to be expressive of this diversity, of this complexity, of this multi-dimensionality. However, when talking about twin flame connections, there are similarities in the stages that twin flames experience, and there are similarities in the overall sensation of being in the presence of your twin flame for those in the twin flame collective. So those in the twin flame collective, when they're in the presence of their twin flame, might experience or are likely to experience or all experience a deep love and magnetism for their divine counterpart. With that said, I am going to jump right into the reading and see what messages I am guided to discuss for this rare twin flame connection. Before I begin the reading, I do have my water here and I have a snack here. As I said in my last video, I am going to have more snacks and things to eat as I'm doing these readings, because channeling energy and channeling spiritual downloads and insight takes a lot of energy. And in these readings, I sometimes get hungry. I find my stomach growling because this does take a lot of energy for me. So I am going to have food with me whenever possible so I can replenish myself as I am doing these readings. So right now I have just a small snack. I already ate some of these burritos I have here. And as I've said, I have my water, which I am now going to drink so that I can ground myself before I begin this reading. So I'm getting a lot of energy coming from the divine feminine in this twin flame connection, in this rare twin flame connection. I'm getting the message. I'm hearing divine say, no matter how much you think you know each other, there is always more to get to know as you open up and unravel in each other's presence. This is a message from divine, and I'm getting that this is divine feminine coming through here. So this is miraculous. The fact that no matter how much you think you know each other, there is always more to get to know as you open up and unravel in each other's presence. This is miraculous because your soul has quite literally existed for a long, long time. And you have existed for so long, incarnating in different places, dimensions, planets in the universe, in the multi-dimensional reality together. Your soul has existed for so long, incarnating in different places, dimensions, planets in the universe together, that you would think you already know everything there is to know about each other as you come into union in these different lives and experience your lived life together. But really, there is so much more to experience and to learn about each other. And this has much to do with the nature of your relationship and your origins. You are one soul in two bodies, and you are a physical manifestation of the source. When you incarnate as twin flames, you embody the energy of the source as two different expressions, as two different polarities of the source. Because you are one soul in two bodies, you experience life together as one soul. The soul in itself is an energy, a light energy in this case, that is infinite. The soul is always going deeper and deeper into the realization of itself. That's why the process of learning for your soul is infinite. Again, the soul in itself is an energy, a light energy in this case, that is infinite. The soul is always going deeper and deeper into the realization of itself. That's why the process of learning for your soul is infinite. You keep learning until the source calls you back to where you came from. So our souls are all gathering information about itself to bring back to the source. That is where all souls originate. So in this case of the twin flame experience, you two are doing this learning and information gathering together as one. Again, in the case of the twin flame experience, you two are doing this learning and information gathering together as one. Your lives are synchronized because you are the same soul. And even so, your experience and your experiences are different. Your experiences differ, yet they are similar because you are the same soul, but different expressions of the same soul. And so you are individuals in your own right, though you share the same soul and are essentially on the same path, gathering and learning the same lessons and the same information. I am getting that for this rare twin flame connection that is same-sex lesbian, that I am receiving spiritual downloads, insight, and messages about from divine, from source, and from the higher dimensional realms. The divine feminine in this rare twin flame connection first became aware of this twin flame connection in the dream state. I'm getting that she, the divine feminine, first communicated with her divine masculine twin flame in the dream state before they ever physically encountered. And as I'm using these terms, divine masculine, divine feminine, these terms are genderless. These energies are genderless. And each of the energies in this rare twin flame connection, each of the energies in twin flame connections are balanced within the divine feminine and divine masculine within themselves. So divine masculine in this rare twin flame connection, if you're listening to this reading, you should be aware that this divine feminine dreamt you long before you two physically came into contact. And I'm getting that years and years before encountering you in their dreams, this divine feminine was receiving visions of you and wishing for you to come into their life. And I mean wishing as in literally asking the universe for you, literally looking up at the sky and asking for you, literally before they went to sleep at night, asking for your presence because they've always sensed you. Upon seeing you in the physical and experiencing what it meant to be in your presence, they were delighted because their soul recognized you exactly who you are. They recognize exactly who you are. So this divine feminine wants to tell you that you were never not an option for them, for her. And as I use her and them, these are genderless terms describing these energies. So again, this divine feminine wants to tell you that you were never not an option. You have always been this divine feminine's number one priority and choice. Divine masculine. You have always been this divine feminine's number one priority and choice because you are the same soul and they have sensed you as a part of their journey for a long, long time. You are the physical manifestation of this divine feminine's heart and soul, quite literally. You are this divine feminine's wish fulfillment, divine masculine. And another message coming through that is really important for this divine masculine to hear is that even though this divine feminine met you in their dreams before they ever encountered you physically, you are more than this divine feminine could ever imagine. You are more than this divine feminine ever could have imagined. So you are more aligned with them, more perfect in the sense that you are the perfect match for them, more so than their dreams could reveal to them. More than these dreams could reveal to this divine feminine in this rare twin flame connection. the fact that you are even more than what their dreams could reveal to them, your connection, your compatibility is even more than what their dreams could imagine, what they could imagine. This fact for divine feminine is another miracle and confirmation of divine in their life, guiding them. And also another confirmation of the divine nature of this twin flame connection and soul connection that you two have and share. The human mind could not fathom this divine connection, this twin flame connection. Even in the dream state, the divine feminine, who is very spiritually connected, could not fathom how aligned and how similar and how a perfect their divine masculine is. They could not fathom how this divine masculine would appear and act and be exactly like the soul that this divine feminine is. Because the fact is, this is a soul connection. And even if this divine feminine was revealed, the how this divine feminine would look, they could not fathom how this divine masculine, how their presence would make them feel, even though in their dreams they sensed this deep love and they sensed this connection. They did not sense the full effect that this connection would have once their masculine was present in their life. And I feel that divine did this purposefully before the connection, just to give the divine feminine a glimpse into what was to come in their life. Because if the divine feminine got the full taste of this connection, they would be experiencing the ache and the longing prematurely. Now, this ache and longing that they experienced after encountering their twin flame in the physical and leaving their presence was unbearable. And so I'm feeling that the divine really did a favor for this divine feminine years and years before these two encountered each other, to give them just a taste, just a glimpse of what was ahead in their journey. This divine feminine initially felt overwhelmed by the feelings and natural pull they feel toward this divine masculine. This divine feminine might have even downplayed their excitement and tried to mask their intuitive knowing of your shared paths and of your deep soul connection as twin flames, divine masculine. And they have always been aware of what they desire most in life, and that is you, divine masculine. This connection is what this divine feminine desires most in life. This divine feminine also avoided their emotions. Not saying they succeeded in hiding and keeping to themselves about how they felt about you, divine masculine, but they did try to avoid you and this connection. Not because they didn't long for you, but because they were not sure if you were aware of the spiritual aspect of your connection in the way they were and are. And they were not sure if you even wanted to have a relationship in the way that this divine feminine was and is imagining and envisioning. A part of divine feminine also felt the need to protect the divine nature of the connection from being tainted. In a less awakened version of themselves, divine feminine was so taken aback by how perfect for them you are that they felt a deep sense of insecurity and needing to be more and do more so that you, divine masculine, their twin flame counterpart, might want them in their life permanently, long term. And this divine feminine felt they needed to do more and be more so that they would belong in your life. In this awakened version of the divine feminine, they are looking back on this less awakened version of themselves and realizing they were and are always yours, divine masculine. You two mirror each other on your journey as twin flames, as one soul. So you are always on the same page, in a sense, on this path. At this stage on your spiritual path and journey, you have both awakened to this union where you are reunited in love. And still, this divine feminine is so pleasantly surprised by their divine masculine, so delighted by how their divine masculine, their twin flame counterpart, is more than they could have ever imagined. Divine feminine feels you two are reuniting and beginning again. You have experienced life with each other multiple times, yet in this life there is so much more to experience together. I am concluding the reading here, and if there are more messages coming up about this topic as I receive more spiritual messages and downloads and insight, I will speak on these messages in the next video. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. Let us take this moment to become aware of our own energy. Breathe in deeply and slowly. And out. Again, breathe in slowly and deeply. And out. Grounding yourself in the present moment. Ground yourself in the present moment. Love and love and love to you. 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 Love and 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 love to you. Love to you. Ground yourself in the present moment. Inner peace.